The rain hammered down on the empty corporate hallway. A 7-year-old girl ran barefoot through the darkness, tears streaming down her face, her stuffed bear clutched tight against her chest. She stumbled, fell hard. Her knees hit the cold marble floor. "They beat my mom! Please, somebody help!" A shadow moved in the dim fluorescent light. A middle-aged man in a janitor's uniform knelt down beside her. His weathered hands, gentle but firm, steadied her trembling shoulders. He set his mop against the wall. His voice was calm, almost too calm. "Where is she?" Nobody knew that this quiet janitor was once a top-tier tactical operative. And tonight, that past was about to come roaring back. Jack Turner was 38 years old, a single father, a night janitor at LaneTech Corporation. Every evening at 9, he clocked in, cleaned floors, emptied trash, wiped down glass doors that executives walked through without a second glance. He wore the same navy blue uniform, carried the same yellow mop bucket, kept his head down. Nobody asked about his past. Nobody cared. And that was exactly how Jack wanted it. 5 years ago, he was someone else entirely. Special Recovery Unit -9, elite tactical operative. The kind of soldier government sent when hostages needed rescuing and a failure was not an option. Manila, Caracas, Istanbul. Jack had pulled diplomats from burning buildings and CEOs from cartel strongholds. Then came the mission that ended it all. He rescued the wrong hostage, a journalist the government wanted silenced. Jack followed orders to save lives, but those orders were lies. When the truth came out, they buried him with paperwork and a dishonorable discharge. No pension, no recognition, just a dog tag necklace he kept hidden under his shirt, engraved with 4 words. No one left behind. Now Jack had one mission. His daughter Ella, 9 years old, bright eyes, big heart. Every morning at 6, she waited by the window of their small apartment, watching for his truck to pull up. She never asked why Daddy cleaned floors instead of saving the world. She just hugged him tight and said, "I missed you." That was enough. LaneTech was a 15-story glass tower in the business district. Sleek, modern, cold. Most employees left by 7. The executives stayed later, their offices glowing like fireflies against the night sky. On the top floor lived Clara Lane, 33, CEO, single mother. She was brilliant, tough, fair. Employees respected her. Competitors feared her. But behind closed doors, Clara was fighting a different battle. Her ex-husband, Richard Moore, wanted control of LaneTech. He wanted the company, he wanted power, and he would do anything to get it. Clara had filed for divorce 6 months ago. The courts moved slowly, too slowly, so she did something unusual. She moved into the penthouse suite with her daughter Lily, age 7. The building had security, cameras, guards. She thought they would be safe there. She was wrong. Jack finished mopping the lobby. It was 11:30. Rain drummed against the windows. The building was silent except for the hum of ventilation and the squeak of his cartwheels. He pushed the cart toward the elevator, ready to start on the 2nd floor. Then he heard it. Footsteps. Fast. Frantic. A child's voice choked with tears. "Help! Somebody, please!" Jack turned. A little girl burst from the stairwell, barefoot, soaked. Her pink pajamas clung to her shaking body. She clutched a brown teddy bear, its fur matted with rain. She saw Jack and ran straight to him. "They beat my mom!" Her voice cracked. "Please, you have to help her." Jack knelt down, eye level, his voice steady, calm, the same voice he once used to talk down armed gunmen. "What is your name?" "Lily." "Lily, I need you to breathe. Can you do that for me?" She nodded, gulping air. "Good, now tell me, where is your mom?" "Upstairs, the big apartment. 3 men came, they hit her. She told me to run." Jack's jaw tightened. His hand instinctively reached for the dog tag under his shirt. "Stay right here." He stood, pulled out his phone, dialed 911. Then he looked at the elevator, at the stairwell, at the little girl trembling in front of him. He made his choice. Jack grabbed his flashlight, checked the stairwell door. "You are going to be okay, Lily, I promise." Earlier that day, the break room had been full of laughter. Security guards on lunch break. Administrative staff grabbing coffee. Jack walked in to refill his cleaning spray. Two guards, mid-20s, smirked as he passed. "Hey, mop guy, you missed a spot near the men's room." The other one laughed. "Yeah, Turner, that is what you are good for, right? Cleaning up after us?" Jack said nothing. He filled his bottle at the sink, capped it, and turned to leave. "What, no comeback? Come on, janitor, do not be so sensitive." Jack paused at the door, looked back. His voice was quiet, almost gentle. "Clean floors, clean conscience." He left. The guards laughed harder. They had no idea who they were mocking. Now at 11:45, Jack climbed the stairwell. 15 floors. His breath was steady, his mind sharper than it had been in years. Muscle memory kicked in. Scan corners. Listen for movement. Control your breathing. He reached the penthouse level. The door was ajar. Splintered wood around the lock. Forced entry. Jack pushed it open slowly. The hallway was dark except for a flickering overhead light. Expensive art on the walls. Marble floors. And then he heard her. A woman's voice. Strained. Defiant. "I will never sign that. You can beat me all you want. This company is not yours." A man's voice. Cold, angry. "Then we will make you. Richard sends his regards." Jack moved silently down the hall. The living room came into view. 3 men, all dressed in black suits. One held a briefcase. Another gripped a woman by the arm. Clara Lane. Her lip was bleeding. Her blouse torn at the shoulder. But her eyes burned with fury. The third man held a stack of papers. "Sign the transfer documents, Miss Lane. This does not have to get uglier." "Go to hell!" He backhanded her. She fell to the floor. Jack stepped into the room. "Let her go." All 3 men turned. The one with the briefcase laughed. "Who the hell are you?" Jack glanced at his uniform. The LaneTech logo stitched on his chest. The mop company patch on his sleeve. "I am the janitor," the man sneered. "Then stay out of this, janitor. Go back to your mop. This is business." Clara looked up. Blood dripped from her chin. Her eyes met Jack's. She did not know him. Not really. She had seen him in passing, maybe twice. Just another employee. But something in his face made her breath catch. Jack set his flashlight on a side table, rolled his shoulders, cracked his knuckles. "I was the janitor," he stepped forward, "until 5 seconds ago." The man with the papers dropped them, pulled a knife from his belt. "Big mistake, old man." Jack did not blink. The man lunged. What happened next took 3 seconds. Jack sidestepped, grabbed the man's wrist mid-thrust, twisted it backward with surgical precision. The knife clattered to the floor. The man screamed. Jack swept his leg. The man crashed into the coffee table. Glass shattered. He did not get up. The second man, bigger, faster, rushed Jack from the side. Jack ducked, drove his elbow into the man's ribs. Once, twice. The air left his lungs in a wet gasp. Jack grabbed his collar, used his own momentum, slammed him face first into the wall. He crumpled. The third man, the one who had been holding Clara, pulled a gun. "Do not move." Jack froze, hands at his sides. Clara was on the floor behind the couch, her eyes wide. The man's hands shook. "I will shoot. I swear I will." Jack's voice was calm, too calm. "You will not." "What?" "You are left-handed, but you are holding that gun in your right hand. That means you are not trained. You are scared, and scared people miss." The man's finger trembled on the trigger. Jack took 1 step forward. "Stop!" Another step. "I am warning you." Jack moved like lightning, closed the distance, slapped the gun to the side. It fired. The bullet hit the ceiling. He grabbed the man's throat, lifted him off the ground, slammed him onto the dining table. The man wheezed, gasped for air. Jack leaned in close, whispered, "Tell Richard this. If he comes near her again, he will not need lawyers. He will need a priest." He let go. The man rolled off the table, scrambled toward the door. The other 2 dragged themselves after him. They were gone in seconds. Jack stood in the middle of the room, breathing steady, knuckles bruised. Clara pulled herself up, stared at him. Who, who are you? Before he could answer, footsteps echoed in the hallway. Police. Guns drawn. Hands up, now! Jack raised his hand slowly. The lead officer saw the scene. The broken furniture, the blood, the janitor standing over it all. He aimed his weapon at Jack's chest. On the ground! Face down! Jack knelt. Then the officer saw it. A tattoo on Jack's forearm, partially hidden by his sleeve. A skull. Wings. The letters SRU-9. The officer's face went white. Wait. Are you Turner? From Special Recovery Unit -9? The entire room went silent. Clara's voice was barely a whisper. What? The officer lowered his weapon slowly. His hands were shaking. Captain Reynolds, 3rd Precinct. I served under Colonel Hayes in the Kabul extraction. You saved my unit. Jack remained on his knees, hands still raised. That was a long time ago, Captain. Not to me. Reynolds holstered his gun, signaled his team to lower their weapons. Stand up, sir. Jack rose, brushed off his knees. The other officers stared, confused, uncertain. One of them, a rookie, whispered to his partner. Who is this guy? Reynolds turned to Clara. Ma'am, are you injured? Do you need medical attention? Clara was still staring at Jack, her mind racing, trying to piece together what she had just witnessed. I am fine. Those men broke in. They tried to force me to sign documents. She pointed at Jack. He stopped them. Reynolds nodded, pulled out his radio. Dispatch, we need an ambulance at LaneTech Plaza, penthouse level, non-critical injuries. Also, put out an APB for 3 male suspects, assault and breaking and entering. He turned back to Jack. Turner, I need your statement. Later. Jack looked at Clara. Where is your daughter? Clara's face went pale. Lily, oh God, Lily. She is downstairs, she is safe. I told her to wait in the lobby. Clara ran, did not wait for permission, did not stop. Jack followed. They took the elevator. The ride down felt like an eternity. Clara's hands trembled. Lily ran to you? A stranger? Fear does not care about strangers. It just wants help. The elevator doors opened. Lily was sitting on the security desk. A female officer had wrapped her in a blanket. The little girl clutched her teddy bear, eyes red from crying. Mommy! Clara ran, scooped her daughter into her arms, held her so tight it hurt. I am so sorry, baby. I am so sorry. The bad men hit you. I know, but I am okay. You were so brave. You did exactly what I told you. Lily looked over her mother's shoulder, saw Jack standing a few feet away. That man saved you. Clara turned, met Jack's eyes. For the first time, she really looked at him. The weathered face, the calloused hands, the quiet strength in his posture. What is your name? Jack Turner. How long have you worked here? 3 years. 3 years. He had been invisible to her for 3 years. She felt ashamed. I do not know what to say. You do not need to say anything. Reynolds approached. Mr. Turner, I need that statement now. Jack nodded, looked at Clara. You should take her to the hospital, get checked out. I will, but first, she hesitated. Who are you, really? Reynolds answered for him. Ma'am, this man is a legend. Special Recovery Unit. He has saved more lives than most people will ever meet. Diplomats, soldiers, civilians. If you were in danger anywhere in the world, he was the one they sent. Clara's breath caught. My father, Thomas Lane. He was kidnapped in Manila 7 years ago. Oil executives held hostage by a militant group. I was told a special operations team rescued them. Jack's expression did not change, but something flickered in his eyes. You were on that team, Clara whispered. You saved my father. Jack said nothing. Reynolds nodded. The Manila siege. I read the after-action report. 12 hostages, 36 militants, 0 casualties on our side. It was textbook. Clara's knees went weak. She sat down on the bench, still holding Lily. My father came home because of you. He walked me down the aisle at my wedding because of you. He met his granddaughter because of you." Her voice cracked. "And I have walked past you for 3 years without even knowing your name." Jack shifted uncomfortably. "You were not supposed to know. That is how it works. Why are you here? Why are you cleaning floors when you could be? I have a daughter, Ella. She needs a father who comes home every night, not someone who might not come home at all." Clara understood. Completely. Reynolds cleared his throat. "We need to talk about tonight. The suspects fled, but we will find them. In the meantime, Mr. Turner, you may have just made yourself a target. Let them come. That is not how this works anymore. You are a civilian now." Jack touched the dog tag under his shirt. "I stopped being a civilian the moment she asked for help." Reynolds sighed. "I will post a unit outside the building tonight, but you need to be careful." "Careful is not my specialty." The captain almost smiled. "I remember." An ambulance arrived. Paramedics checked Clara and Lily. Minor bruises, no serious injuries. As they worked, Clara pulled Jack aside. "Those men, they worked for my ex-husband, Richard Moore. He wants control of LaneTech. He has been trying to force me out for months." "Why?" "Money, power, pride. Take your pick." She looked at Lily, being examined by a paramedic. "I filed for divorce because he was violent. The courts are slow. He is getting desperate. He will come back." "I know." Her voice was steady, resolved. "But now I know something he does not." "What?" "The janitor is not just a janitor." Jack almost smiled. "Almost." Reynolds returned. "Mr. Turner, we are going to need you to come to the station. Full statement. Evidence collection." "Understood." Clara grabbed his arm. "Wait, before you go. Thank you. For my father. For me. For Lily. I will never be able to repay you. You already did." "How?" "You gave me a job when nobody else would. That was enough." He turned to leave. "Jack." He stopped. "This is not over. Richard will not stop, and I do not want you caught in the middle of my mess." Jack looked back, his eyes hard as steel. "Ma'am, with all due respect, I was in the middle the moment your daughter said please." He walked out with Reynolds. Clara stood there, holding Lily, watching him go. Her daughter tugged her sleeve. "Mommy, is he a superhero?" Clara thought about the quiet man who mopped floors, who saved diplomats, who stopped 3 armed men without breaking a sweat. "Yes, baby, I think he is." Outside, Reynolds opened the patrol car door for Jack. "You know this is going to get messy, right? If her ex-husband is behind this, he has money, lawyers, connections." Jack climbed into the car. "Good, I like a challenge." Reynolds shook his head, closed the door. As the car pulled away, Jack looked up at the LaneTech building, at the lights still glowing on the top floor. He thought about Ella, asleep at home, waiting for him. He thought about Lily, terrified and brave. He thought about the life he left behind, and the life he chose. No one left behind, not anymore. By morning, the story had exploded. Janitor saves CEO and daughter from armed attackers. Local news, national news, social media. A security camera photo went viral. Jack in his uniform standing calmly while police surrounded him. Within hours, someone identified him. Old military records, witness accounts from people he had saved. "This man pulled my brother out of a collapsing embassy. He rescued my unit under enemy fire. He is a hero." The 2 security guards who mocked him saw the news in the break room. Their faces went pale. "That was him? The guy we called Mop Guy?" When Jack returned to work that night, the building was different. Employees stopped him, shook his hand, thanked him. The guards approached, heads down. "Mr. Turner, we owe you an apology. What we said, we had no idea." Jack looked at them. No anger, just tired eyes. "You should not need to know who someone was to treat them with respect." They nodded, ashamed. "You are right." "We are sorry," Jack moved on. In the boardroom, Clara sat across from Richard's lawyers. "Miss Lane, our client will drop divorce proceedings if you step down as CEO and transfer 40% of shares." Clara leaned forward. Your client sent 3 men to beat me in front of my daughter. Tell him I will see him in prison first." The lawyer shifted uncomfortably. "You have no proof Mr. Moore was involved." Clara slid a folder across the table. "The police arrested all 3 men. One is talking, text messages, bank transfers, voice recordings, all from Richard." The lawyers went pale. "The DA is filing charges. Conspiracy, assault, coercion. Your client is done." She stood. "Get out of my building." They left. 2 weeks later, Richard Moore was arrested. The board removed him from all positions, banned him from LaneTech property. Clara won. That evening, she found Jack restocking supplies in the maintenance closet. "Jack," he turned. "Miss Lane." "Clara, please." She stepped inside, closed the door. "I have been thinking about what you gave up to be here." "I did not give up anything." "You gave up everything, your career, your reputation, all because you saved the wrong person." "I saved the right person. The government just did not agree." She smiled sadly. "You are too good for this world." "I am exactly where I need to be." "No, you are not." She handed him an envelope. "What is this?" "Open it." He did. Inside was a new badge, his photo, a different title, Head of Security, Jack Turner. He looked up. "I do not understand. This company is safest when you are protecting it, not cleaning it. I am not qualified." "You are the most qualified person I have ever met." Jack stared at the badge. "What about my daughter? The hours?" "Day shift, weekends off, health insurance, pension, everything you should have had." His throat tightened. "Why?" "Because Lily is alive because of you. Because my father met his granddaughter because of you. Because heroes should not mop floors." Jack held the badge. The weight of it felt different than a mop handle. Heavier, more permanent. "I do not know what to say." "Say yes." He looked at her. This woman who had walked past him for 3 years, who now saw him, really saw him. "Yes." Clara smiled. For the first time since the attack, she felt safe. Not because of cameras or guards or lawyers, but because the quiet man who once mopped her floors now stood between her daughter and the world, and nothing would get past him. Not anymore. 1 month later, Jack wore a different uniform now. Black suit, tie, LaneTech security badge clipped to his belt. He walked the building with purpose, checked cameras, briefed guards, made sure every door, every window, every entrance was secure. Employees greeted him by name, with respect. Not because they knew what he had done, but because of how he carried himself. At 6 p.m. he clocked out, on time, every day. He picked up Ella from school, helped with homework, made dinner. She asked him once, "Daddy, do you miss your old job?" He thought about it. "I miss the people I saved, but I do not miss the person I had to be to save them." She hugged him. "I like this you better." "Me too, kiddo." On Friday evening, Clara invited Jack, Ella, and Lily to dinner in the penthouse. It was simple. Pasta, salad, garlic bread. The girls sat together, giggling over some cartoon. Ella showed Lily how to draw horses. Lily shared her crayons. Clara and Jack sat on the couch, watching them. "They are good together," Clara said. "They are. Lily asks about you every day. She calls you her hero." Jack smiled softly. "I am not a hero. I am just someone who showed up." "That is what heroes do, Jack. They show up when no one else will." She looked at him, really looked at him. "You could have walked away. You could have called the police and stayed downstairs. Nobody would have blamed you." "I would have." "Why did you do it?" He touched the dog tag under his shirt, the engraving he had carried for years. "Because a long time ago, I made a promise. No one left behind. I broke a lot of rules to keep that promise. Lost everything because of it. But I never regretted it." Clara's eyes glistened. "You saved my father. You saved me. You saved my daughter. How do I ever repay that?" "You already did. You gave me a second chance. You let me be more than a mistake." She reached out, took his hand. You were never a mistake, Jack. You were always a hero. The world just was not ready to see it. Across the room, Lily looked up. Mom, can Mr. Jack be our hero forever? Clara looked at Jack, tears in her eyes, a smile on her lips. He already is, baby. Jack squeezed her hand gently. Outside, the city glowed against the night sky. 15 stories below, people rushed home to families, to safety, to peace. They would never know the janitor who once mopped their floors had saved more lives than they could count. They would never know the quiet man in the black suit had once been a legend. And that was fine, because Jack Turner had learned something important. True heroes do not need recognition. They just need a reason to protect. And now he had two. Subscribe if you believe true heroes never stop protecting others.